Good morning to the new members and to the old members that have found their way back to the community. I need you just as much as you need me. We have a lot to talk about this morning. If you were watching yesterday or if you're new, we'll go over the XRP technical analysis, how we got back down to 54 cents on a consolidation, and why this pattern formation has not given way yet in the areas of interest right now as we've come back close to the uptrending support after a breakout from a descending triangle that started January of 2024. We're still well within the formation from July of 2023. We are very close to falling back within that descending formation, but we have come down to touch that uptrending support now, and I'll show you what I mean going back to July of 2023's formation and how this is still technically, unless we do break down past a certain pivot level, these are bullish consolidations to help push up to the next level. I can see in the comments that a lot of people are deterred by XRP as usual every single day. There's a lot of emotion to be had when you trade XRP, and that's why you've got to do this from an emotionless standpoint, and we've got to do this from a power position of we're not the victim, we're the winner. So we have to have all the information to make an educated and informed decision. And this morning we're going to have to go over the charts pretty deeply here to come to an educated philosophy here on what's to come. So if you are watching this morning, please make sure to hit that like button so YouTube will recommend this video and allow more people that are new to find this community, and also some of the old members that might have lost their way that haven't received any updates. It'll force YouTube to recommend the video, and it'll allow us to continue to grow this beautiful community. So as we can see, XRP is down 3.79%. We'll get into the chart of XRP, the actual price action. We'll get into the XRP market cap as it's down below 30 billion. And then we'll get into Bitcoin, which is down about 2.36% this morning, or down 1,238 points. Take a breath, everybody. This is consolidation. This is what happens. And now we need to see exactly where we go from here. See how far we push through consolidation and see if these are the actual zones of consolidation, or if this is the accumulation zone, or if we have to go back down into, like we always say, if you don't have enough attention when you start pushing up with some types of rallies, you have to come back down to the demand zone. So basically you try to see where you can find some value. So let's get into this. So good morning, 8:51 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Wednesday, February 21st, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I'm a little tired this morning because of stuff, and I appreciate everybody with the well wishes for Julie. It's for her ankle, as she's had 5 surgeries on it, so that's why we're gone. But we'll be back home in a few hours. I just wanted to do this update before I got up and out of here. So what we're looking at this morning is XRP down 3.75%, down to the 55.05 cent level. This is where you have to take a deep breath and understand what's playing out right now. With this consolidation, we talked yesterday. Well, if you're new, we'll talk from a new standpoint, so we'll start this over. So basically what's been happening is XRP with the pattern formation that started in June of 2024. We've come back through that formation, and now we're fighting right now. This is our July of 2023 formation. We fought all the way back down to this uptrend now. So that's at around 53 cents. 52.9 cents it could come to. That's the new uptrending support. That's actually a little bit probably lower, ironically. We could say it's actually a little bit, yeah. So that's actually the uptrending support that was formed going from this pattern formation at 49.1 cents. And now we started an ascending formation. So if we can hit this uptrending support, it would validate the continuation here. Now what we were trying to do was break over this formation. We failed to hold it, but we came back down to the pivot point at 534, which is a major area that we've been talking about for days and days and days. If it was unable to hold this pattern breakout, it could come back down for consolidation to 534 pivot point, which is exactly what it's done so far. So what I'm choosing to do is, since it came back to that range, I'm going to look at this chart now, and until it loses this uptrending support, this looks like a normal consolidation to try to push us up into the next area. And as you continue to consolidate, it started at around 60 cents back, a little bit farther in the pattern. Now if we bounce down, let's just say we hold the uptrend this week, and it does come down to 53 cents, 52.9. Then your push back up will be around 59 cents to try to break out of this area. It continues to consolidate. The longer it takes, the lower the targets are for the resistance, just because it continues to consolidate along. This doesn't mean that the pattern formation is busted. This doesn't mean that it's broken. It just means we need more consolidation. And the fact we came to this 534 pivot, if we break through this, this is where you could have an interesting consolidation. So if we break through this, when we come down to the 529, if 529 doesn't hold, that's telling you we're coming back down to around the 50-cent mark. There's really no way around that. If we do break through this, you do have the 518 support. But right now we're consolidating heavy. 2 hourly's pushing back into the oversold, it looks like. All of these are going to with the volatility are going to start swinging back to the downside when it comes to the relative strength index. So these are the moments when you wake up, you've got to actually pay attention to what's happening in the chart. Yeah, it looks like a little bit of a breakdown, but to me it looks more like it had to come down to consolidation. So I drew that uptrending support line there just in case it fell back within. We had a point of reference so we wouldn't lose our minds. We wouldn't go, oh my goodness, it's over. You know, XRP's just done. We still have that golden cross. Remember, in the 4 hourly, until you get rejected on the 200 day as resistance, the pattern's not done. You consolidate a lot. A lot of times right before a move, you'll have bigger consolidation. We talked about Ripple moving 60 million XRP and the impact that could have. We're seeing a slight impact. Yeah, it held steady at first, but a lot of sells came through because of that. And a lot of people, or a lot of tokens were pushed through the sales. So 60 million, you know, that's 30-something million almost. Not enough to break down this pattern, but definitely enough to put it into some consolidation. Bitcoin's down 1,181 points this morning, or 2.24%. Again, if we look at Bitcoin, we drew out the ascending formation in case it had to rotate. And yesterday we were very clear, the day before very clear. Today I'm going to be even clearer. Bitcoin has not technically rotated yet, but if it does continue this move, expect this uptrending support at 47,281. That's where it's going to try to validate this continuation. If it does break down, and Bitcoin was overextended, but that I keep telling everybody, make sure if you go short that the rotation's over, because a lot of people, well, everybody who went short on this run up lost their shorts. Now, I don't want you to lose your socks with your shorts. You know, it's getting kind of cold out there. So pay attention to the rotation and just see if little segments are falling. Like, it does make sense if this were to break down 47,300 range and then continue back through. That's the proper consolidation. You could even see if this happens, why it's not a bad thing. You come up, you could technically say you put in a bullish handle just to break out of this area. So as long as we hold this uptrending support, we're looking really good with Bitcoin. Everything doesn't go straight up. You have these moments. Now we need to figure out how far of a pullback you could have if we continue. But as of right now, there is nothing that I'm looking at that makes me go, okay, this is over. What happened was the Bitcoin dominance picked up a little bit because it was on its rejection route. And we showed this yesterday. Bitcoin dominance came down. And all the money that's in cryptocurrency, while 53% in Bitcoin, that's a lot of the crypto market there. So you got 53% in one token, 47% in thousands and thousands of other assets. So some of them are junk. But if we look at this, it looks like we could be putting in a topping reversal here for the XRP market cap. So if this is a head and topping reversal, that's a head formation. We got a rejection here back in the formation. If this does get a second rejection, let's say it comes up to 53.7. If it gets rejected there, it's coming all the way down to 50.59%. So that opens up the door to 3% of the total crypto market cap to be put into other assets if that happens. And this is what you'd be looking for. Some would say, oh, is this the start of alt season? Well, in my opinion, for alt season to start, it's going to have to break this formation. If it comes down here to 50.5%, that would definitely help altcoins start to rally. But imagine if it rotates back down. And now this rotation ends. We broke the rising channel. This is your last leg of a rising channel. This is like the outward consolidation. And if it breaks down from this consolidation, there's going to be a nice rally in crypto altcoins. So that's another thing we have to pay attention to is the Bitcoin dominance chart. It went up for an upward consolidation. You had the DXY this morning go up for upward consolidation, and it almost looks like rejection points for all of these. Same thing with the DXY. If it breaks down, It's going to be interesting because it filled out the technical target around 105. We've come through the little formation right now, but we don't know if it's technically going to break down or if this is more consolidation. But if this is starting to break down, it's going to be quick. This could be a topping reversal. This could have been a head and shoulders with the right shoulder being put in. And if it breaks back down, you're looking at 103 spot 499 to see what kind of level we have here. Are we still bullish in the DXY, or are we finally acknowledging the fact that we're very weak in the US dollar? The BRICS nations are starting to turn their back on the USA, which is the whole part of the formulation. They have their own currency set up, so they're not going to want to depend on the US dollar for the world reserve currency. The US has done too many sanctions and it's going to bite them, and it already has. So now it's like, what do we do for standard money? Well, that's where the plan comes in. You've got to plot, you got to pay attention, and you've got to understand how crypto is working and not get so caught up in, oh, we're at a 3 to 5% consolidation here after a run up. Oh, XRP's trash. You could have bought Bitcoin. Oh, this and that. It's the accumulation phase. I always tell everybody, we've done this cycle how many times. Millionaires aren't made in the bull markets. They're made in the bear markets. You have to find your assets in the bear market. Right now is the accumulation phase. XRP has not had a major rally yet. XRP's consolidated, and now it looks like it's put in a little bit of a topping reversal pattern, and now we need to see if this gets rejected here at this 54.4 cent level. That's a major rejection here, because then we're squeezed right now between 534, this downtrending resistance line, and this descending triangle that we broke out of. But now it looks like it's back to consolidation. It could still technically be breaking out and coming back to consolidation, but if it breaks through 534, then we have to pay attention to the lower consolidation. And all that means is we'd come down to about 52.8 cents and then try to run from there in this ascending formation that started in July of 2023. This uptrending support within this formation started within the pattern formation. You could say it started down here on January 31st, but if you come back into the formation, you can clearly see the uptrend is continuing into February. So that's going to be the question. If we continue consolidating, that's where we'll come down to, and it's a logical area if Bitcoin keeps rotating for more consolidation. So that's the word today, consolidation, I suppose. We've got a little bit of sell pressure. It's not like we had crazy sell, though. It's not a crazy sell day. It's just there hasn't been as many buys. And with Bitcoin rotating down to try to confirm this pattern, it does make sense that XRP rotated. That's why we've been very concerned about this formation, this ascending formation, just in case we came back into the descending triangle. It does allow you an opportunity to see exactly what could happen here in the 2-hour time frame, right on the 200-day. If we can't break 542 and this continues to fall, that's how you can get down to that 528 mark. That's how you get down to that uptrending support from the July of 2023 formation where we're at right now. It would rotate, and then it could rotate even farther if this is an M, and it could come all the way down to the bottom of the formation at 50 cents. That doesn't mean the pattern's busted. It just means it rotated. And oftentimes when you get more consolidation like this, it can be a step in the right direction as far as, all right, we have extra buyers. We were in a demand zone, but there was nobody buying. Or we got overzealous and we had to run up and we just didn't have enough buyers. So now we try to find the proper supply zones. So there was no demand higher up. We go back down and see if there's supply. If there's supply, people will buy. If not, they won't. And we'll have to go farther down for demand. Supply and demand. You don't have enough buyers. There's not enough demand. And then you have to go down for where the supply can... I mean, that's just basic... sales, economy, or economics. If you can't find buyers at a higher price, you go down lower to find those buyers at a sale price or discounted from the day before. That's why I always say don't buy the rally up, buy the retracement. So right now, if you want to go up to 57.8 and you're like, whoa, I've been wanting to buy XRP, well, it's always going to be tricky. Where do you buy it? XRP right now is in between two formations, 54.2 if we get rejected here, but that's only if we get rejected. XRP now is dumped off a lot. We'll see if 5.4, actually it's 5.44. If that resistance holds, and then we come through 5.34, we know we're coming down to the July of 2023 uptrend, which is at about 52.8 cents roughly. And I think it's pretty clear on here exactly how that plays out. it comes into this ascending formation. And then if it were to break down this 528 wall, then you could come back down to the bottom of this formation at 50 cents. Not exactly positive for everybody. Thinking at least most people would be like, oh, it's just over. Now we're completely breaking down. But in all honesty, if it doesn't break down this formation, you've got a lot of good going still. Pay attention. Make sure this does break down before you get overzealous. We've had a nice correction here. And in time, it looks like, I don't think this move is necessarily done yet. I know we've had a consolidation. I know this is going to throw a lot of people off. But in the accumulation phase, this is the beauty of it. You can sit through the up and downs. You can see, like, even with the algo, it's down 6% today, but it's at 18.4. So it may be down 6%, but a lot of that down is because it had an overzealous run-up at the end. You can look at H-bar down 4.5%, but it's still up over 10.27 cents. Just the other day, it was at 8 cents. So yeah, it's come down, but we're having consolidation. XRP has not had that big boom. XRP has not had the big boom that some of the other ones have. XRP still looks wound up. XRP still looks like it's ready to get going. It's just consolidating. So don't overanalyze this until it gives you a reason to. Right now, I'm not overanalyzing. 534 is the pivot point. It's held that right now. 54.4 is the resistance right now, which we were trying to see if it was a support, which it still can be. We could have come down, made a little... See, this is what we have to pay attention to if this is what's forming, because this could possibly be. If it does something like this and pulls out, that would be interesting, because that is absolutely what could be forming right now. And then it's going to just further compound the shorts getting hammered. So make sure before, if you're taking a short down, that it's not just going to correct back up. And that was a W reversal here in the making. We still are on the 200-day and the 4-hourly, which means we have not come through a pattern formation. It means that the continuation is still on unless we firmly come through that formation. And that not just the formation of that descending triangle, but also losing the 200-day at the 534 mark, ironically, in the 4-hourly. So that's how you would know if a short-term pattern started reversing back down, or if you can get a continuation up. Right now, it looks like we're fighting for continuation, and all eyes are on Bitcoin, because as I said in the beginning of this live, Bitcoin, even though it's in a broadening wedge formation, if it rotates anymore, it's going to come down to this ascending triangle, or this ascending formation on that uptrend that was established after resistance, support, resistance, down to the bottom of the broadening wedge, back up to the top. Well, during this process, from low support back to resistance, we created an uptrend. Well, if it needs to, it can now bounce off of this for a second time and confirm the pattern formation and then continue out. So a lot of optics this morning. Yes, we went into consolidation. No, the pattern isn't over. And no, you shouldn't be bouncing your head through the wall or beating it through the wall. Right now, you should be having your eyes wide open. Educate yourself on the levels. Pay attention to the pattern formations that are on my charts. You probably have them on your charts too. And make sure you understand if it doesn't break these levels. This is a typical consolidation that will knock out many before the next setup. Bitcoin, the better consolidation here would be to go down to 47,000 to open the door. Some would say in the Elliott wave that you could go down to as low as 40,000 before the next push up. I don't necessarily agree with that, because if you go down to 40,000, what stops you from coming down here to the bottom of the broadening wedge at 37.2? But the Elliott wave definitely suggests that a consolidation could happen. And like, I wouldn't even be opposed if it went like this and then bounced out, just because then you get a nice clearing. But that may never happen. This could just be an optics this morning, and then what do we know? In 6-7 hours, we could be up another 1,500 points in Bitcoin. So let's make sure, because in the RSI, that's a descending formation. That's a bullish reversal. It's that descending channel, it looks like that's forming. Those are typically bullish reversals at the bottom. So how far does that go? And it looks like it's been doing that all the way down. So that's pretty interesting. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you got anything out of this update, please make sure you hit that like button so YouTube will recommend this video and allow more people to reach this community this morning. And even if it's an older viewer or a newer viewer, we'll give them the opportunity to watch this video. If you appreciate my work, consider joining Tom's Army for the time I put in, which is an exorbitant amount of time. Or consider sending one YouTube super chat per month to pay it forward and support the channel. If you're looking to trade XRP or your favorite crypto, in the video description below, you've got MEXC right now that has 0 spot fees or leverage trading fees. You've got PHEMEX for the UK, they're saying that that's the best option over in the UK. And then BITUNIX is good for the USA, especially in these times where a lot of exchanges are saying, nope, not worth it with the regulatory issues. Other than that, if you watch this until the end, make sure you type in the chat hashtag #BeBetterDoBetter, and please hit that like button on the way out for the YouTube recommendations. And if you do appreciate my work, hit that subscribe button and join the over 20,200 subscribers.